Well, school's about to start, and that means a lot of scammers might be coming to your door. Well, here to keep us safe is Montz from the Better Business Bureau. So welcome, Lane.
Welcome, Chris. Thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. All right, thanks for keeping us safe always. But anyway, so school fundraisers, school's about to start, sports, etc. That gives plenty of opportunities for scammers to go out there and scam those that are ready to be scammed.
Right, that are just waiting to give away their money and their personal information. Well, so first let me say, of course, if you see students that you recognize from your high school dressed in the band uniform, dressed in the appropriate uniform, I'm not talking about those to be afraid of. I give money to those kids as well. The school's not too far from me. What I am talking about is, though, that with back to school, the door-to-doors ramp up, the fundraisers over the phone, hey, we're calling. And by the way, it's not just school. They use this time to call on behalf of the police, the fire, and a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, they are scams. And I want people to be aware if people show up at the door with a lanyard, they look like they might be pretty old for teenagers, right? You might want to check with local law enforcement before you hand anything over. And I always recommend, and the BBB always recommends, don't give the money at the door. If you believe in the cause, there are other ways to support it than right at that moment.
Yeah, so, just because someone comes to your house and knocks on a door and with their uniform on, it doesn't mean that they're legit.
Yeah, it does not mean that. They could be, there are people out there that are imposters for the utility companies. That's a big one. But civic services, they can get those uniforms pretty easily.
Right. You had mentioned before we went on air that a lot of times they have to have a permit of some sort?
Yeah, so the people hear the Green River Ordinance, right? That's a phrase that people have heard. But a lot of times you don't know what that means. Well, the Green River Ordinance is just a way for a local government, like the city, like the county, to pass a law. It's a templated law. So they pass it, and it requires those door-to-door solicitors to register with the local law enforcement before they do their campaigns. They will get a permit, but that can be faked. The best way to know if it's legitimate door-to-door, if they're legal, is to call the local sheriff, call the local fire department. Okay. Or police department.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times, the scammers, and we're all familiar with them, they do call as well asking for money for veteran services or police or whatever it may be. How do you go about, finding if they're legit or not?
Well, first of all, pump the brakes on the by the phone fundraising. If you want to donate to a worthy cause, do your own research and donate through their portal, or make a phone call and do a little research. Don't just accept that the phone call is legitimate. So I do know, because I was on WBGU not that long ago, Wood County and the surrounding areas, including the school system and the city government, they were being impersonated by phone campaigns, and they were getting hit pretty hard, the people of Wood County. And so they tend to go in clusters, right? So they're somewhat organized. So they will decide to hit Wood County for a couple months, and they might move to a different county. So I think forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah, and a lot of our phones have caller ID, but you can't always trust that as well, right? That
can be masked. That can be faked, yeah. Yeah, if they say they're from an organization, take the time to write down the organization. Don't do it right in that moment. If you decide to give, you can do it through a legitimate online portal or make a phone call yourself. Check it out first.
Yeah, and so you should probably kind of pause for a minute if people are like, donate now, give money now. It's the now that's concerning, right?
It's the now that's a great question to ask, Chris. The now is a red flag because legitimate, long-standing charities have different ways you can contribute, and they will take your money and put it to use tomorrow or next week just as readily as today.
Yeah, well, Lane, as always, thank you for keeping our viewers safe, and appreciate you coming on.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, well, don't go away because Medical News is coming up next.